God will manifest your desire once you sleep like this. This right here, by the way, is like one of my favorite methods. I've tried this for anything that I've ever wanted. Anytime I tried it, by the way, anytime I tried it, it always worked. So hopefully this is going to be one of my best videos where as soon as you watch it, inshallah, you'll be getting the results. Before I even explain to you this method and how do you sleep like this and then you get God to manifest your desire and all that stuff, first of all, I gotta explain to you the law of pairs. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys that are Muslim, you've read this ayah that says, وَخَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. When people are doing their nikah, the sheikh is usually reciting this ayah. Now, people usually think that this ayah just relates to like when man and woman, like a man is made for the woman and the woman is made for the man. That's how Allah made it. That's how God made it. But let me tell you something. Allah is saying, God is saying, وَخَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا, which means that we've created you in pairs. So it's not just that God has created male and female in pairs. No, there is like a universal law, a divine law, that most things are created in pairs. For example, light, darkness, positive, negative, day and night, man and woman. So you'll see most of these things, most of the pairs, they're usually connected. So what you'll notice is that one of the pairs is positive and the other one is negative. If one is positive and the other one is also positive, the universe is not going to function in a proper way. So, for example, if it's like you have two magnets, one north and the other one is north, they're going to be repelling each other. But north and south, they're going to be touching each other. So they get attracted to each other. So, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you that because, by the way, even if you think about it too, it's like the man and the woman. Like you could say the woman is negative, the man is positive. So, negative charge, positive charge. Positive means that it gives. Positive is addition, so it means that it gives. Negative is negation, so it means that it absorbs. So the man is the one that gives the woman the seed, and the woman is the one that creates the baby. Like Allah creates the baby in the woman's womb, but you need the seed from the man. So any pairs that are created, there is always a positive, one thing that gives, and then a negative, one thing that takes. So why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that because it also means that there is a cause and an effect. What that means is that I was doing research, right? And some beautiful sheikh, he said that the day and the night, one of them is the cause, the other one is the effect. And when I learned that, something profound happened, bro. Like something profound happened that I learned. Basically, it means that whatever you do in the day or the night, you will be seeing the results in the opposite. So, for example, let's just say it's the night. The things that you'll be doing in the night, they'll have their effect. So you'll see their trace in the morning or in the day. And so that's actually how the universe works. So again, law of pairs. These two things are connected. Habibi, listen, whatever you do in the night is going to be having its effect in the day. One thing as well, you know how there is like the unseen and the seen, or you could say the spiritual and the physical. So the unseen is the cause, the spiritual is the cause, and the effect is the seen. Like Allah says in the Quran that the wahi, the revelation, comes all the way from the spiritual realm. So it comes from the unseen, it comes all the way from above, which means that the cause is the spiritual, the message, the seed is coming from the spiritual. And the physical is the one that's seeing the effect. It's the one that's getting the effect. So the spiritual is the positive, the physical is the negative because it's the one that's getting the effect. Which means, again, why am I telling you all that stuff? I'm telling you all of this stuff because when you look at also, for example, the night and then the night is the cause and the day is the effect, meaning that whatever you're doing during the night, you'll be seeing the effect during the day. And this is where I came across the teachings of Neville Goddard, and this is where I was just blown away, man. So I've been using his tactic, and honestly, bro, I've just been blown away. Blown away. Because the thing is that again, that's why the Prophet, peace be upon him, he would be praying most of the prayers at night. Like he would be standing in prayer at night because he knew it's like whatever that happens in the night, you'll be seeing the effect during the day. And that's why, by the way, for those of you who are Muslim, tahajjud is very powerful because you're doing tahajjud at night. Tahajjud in general is obviously at night, which means that the only reason why you're seeing the effect is very powerful because that's how the universe works. The night is the cause, the day is the effect. So again, why am I telling you all these things? I'm telling you all these things because, I mean, there's one proof that tahajjud is a very powerful thing. But there's two things, right? There's prayer and then there is also sleep. Those two things, whatever you want, whatever desire that you want, you're going to have to basically master these two things. So let's just talk about sleep right now. If you sleep in a certain way at night, you'll be seeing the effect during the day. So if you sleep here's the thing, right? I told you that the spiritual is the cause and the physical is the effect. The spiritual is also your imagination. The imagination is in the spiritual realm, but the physical is what you're seeing on the outside of your life. So if you, Neville Goddard, basically he says, if you sleep in a way where you get the feeling of whatever desire that you want as being done, like you feel like whatever desire that you have, you imagine it, and then you combine that with a powerful emotion, for example, gratitude, and then you sleep in that way, that's where you'll be seeing the effect of that during the day. Again, this is where the thing is going to be coming from the unseen, the imagination, to the seen, which is the physical reality. So if you use sleep in that sense, where you imagine, here's the thing, you imagine yourself in the desire as if like it's already been done, and then you sleep in that sense, that's where the desire is going to start basically manifesting during the day. And by the way, I don't know the whole science behind this, man. All I know is that when you sleep in Islam, we learn that your soul goes away. So your soul goes in the spiritual realm. And that's where, if you program the soul, because how do you program the soul? Through the thoughts. Like, same way your body gets affected by food, your soul gets affected by thoughts and feeling. So then if you're affecting your soul through the thoughts and through the feelings, when the soul leaves the body and then it goes back to Allah, what happens is that when it goes back to Allah, it's almost like, you know, when you have like a building, you're building a building and then you're cementing it so the building becomes rigid and sturdy. That's basically what's happening. So when the soul goes back to Allah, Allah is basically healing the soul. And obviously everybody knows this, because when you go to sleep, what happens to you? You get recharged. How do you get recharged? By Allah. Like, you can go through the science and be like, oh, but no, there is mechanisms that happen, blah blah blah, but it's just by Allah. It's like saying, how is the rain coming down? Yeah, there's mechanisms and the clouds and the water and blah blah blah, but who's doing it? Allah's doing it. God is doing it. Eventually, you're just gonna keep going back. It's like, yeah, this happens because of this happens because of this. Eventually, it's just God. There's no other reason. It's just God. So how is the soul getting healed up and reprogrammed? By God. So now, if you sleep in a state where you're imagining your thing happening, the soul, when it leaves, is going to be basically carrying those emotions and those thoughts, and then it goes back to Allah. So basically, Allah is almost like cementing the soul, healing the soul based on what the soul was feeling as soon as it left. And this, Habibi, like, this is the best explanation that I can find. There's honestly no other explanation for this beautiful process and how it happens. This is the best one that I could think of, bro. Even Neville Goddard himself, he doesn't know why it happens. He just knows that it just happens. It's like when you're clicking the remote and you're changing the channel. Do you know how the remote is changing the channels? How is the button basically changing every single channel? You don't. All you know is that if I click a button, channel changes. Same thing here. If you do this thing, something changes, something happens. How? Nobody freaking knows. Not even the man that preaches about this stuff. So again, if you sleep in a certain way, and I'll talk to you about prayer, but if you sleep in a certain way where you imagine, so you think and then you feel your desire happening, so you're literally imagining happening. So for example, if you want like $1,000,000, you're imagining your family congratulating you on the $1,000,000. You're imagining yourself seeing the $1,000,000 in your bank account. You're imagining the effect of what's going to happen when you finally do have the $1,000,000. You'll see the beautiful house. You'll see the beautiful car. You'll see all these things as a result of the $1,000,000. And then if you sleep with the gratitude, like your thing's already been done, and you actually see yourself as if like you're living that whole life, what's going to happen is that when you wake up throughout the day, Allah's almost like going to start bringing scenarios in your life, or you'll basically be getting divine insight, divine inspiration, and you'll be doing things without knowing why you're doing it, but everything that you'll be doing is going to lead to you eventually seeing your exact desire manifesting. And the word manifest, by the way, it just means when something goes from the unseen to the seen. Something goes from the spiritual realm to the physical realm. Something goes from the cause to the effect. And that's all it is, bro. That's all it is. Listen, this right here is the most powerful thing you can know. If you've been struggling and you can't see whatever your goals, you can't see your goals happening, you can't see yourself achieving your goals, the only reason why that's not happening is because you're taking action, but from the wrong mindset. You're taking action, but you forgot to even plant the seed so that your desire can actually start happening. And by the way, you know this. How many times have you slept so excited and then you've woken up and you just saw everything flowing smoothly? This happens to me every single time, bro. Anytime, like even when I was a kid, I would sleep like I'm so excited, and then I don't even know, by the way, how the goal is going to be happening. I just know that somehow it's going to happen. And then I wake up, almost always is going to be happening. So listen, Habibi, this is a universal law. Cause is the imagination. The effect is the reality. Cause is the night, the effect is the day. Cause is the spiritual, the effect is the physical. So understand this stuff. This stuff, more people need to be teaching this stuff. There's way too many people struggling because they're not understanding this stuff. How many times are you guys going to sleep in an angry state? You wonder why your life is going to be filled with anger? How many of you guys are sleeping sad? You wonder why your life is going to be more sad? Like, you see, it's like you guys are not understanding the cause and the effect. Everything has a cause and everything has the effect. You guys are too stuck thinking that, oh, Allah's going to handle it. Allah's going to handle it. You got to plant the seed, bro. That's basically like a farmer saying that, oh, Allah's going to start planting tomato trees or tomato leaves, wherever tomatoes grow. Like, everybody's going to be like, that's such a dumb farmer, bro. So you're right now, if you're saying things like, no, but bro, it's only in Allah's hand, you're acting like a farmer that doesn't even know what they're doing. Understand the cause, understand the effect. You gotta plant the seed first. How do you plant the seed? Through imagination. How do you put the dirt on the seed so that it can grow? Through sleep. By the way, it's not just through sleep, it's also through prayer. But when I say prayer, I'm not just talking about the prayer that you do where you're just like, please Allah, please make my dua happen. That's not the prayer that I'm talking about. Have you ever prayed in a way, salah? Have you ever done salah in a way where you felt like you lost yourself? Where you're just doing it and you're not even there? And I'm not saying when you're doing it and your mind is just somewhere else. I'm saying you're doing it and you're just so focused on the words that you're saying. You're so focused on the ruku'. You're so focused on the sujood. You're so into the prayer. You're so present into the prayer. Have you ever felt that way? If you felt that way before, you realize that if you did that and then you were in sujood and you made dua in that way, your dua immediately is going to happen. If you just made a request in that way from the Creator, the dua is just immediately going to happen. Your desire is just going to happen. Why do you think there is a hadith that say that you are closest to God in sujood? It's not just sujood, the physical sujood. It's the spiritual sujood, the inner sujood. Are you truly doing inner sujood as well? Not just the physical, bro. Are you really doing the spiritual, the inner sujood? What that means is that, are you truly submitted to Allah? Are you truly surrendered to Allah? You'll know if you surrender to Allah when the ego is not there. Because when the ego is not there, when the thoughts are gone, what's awakened? The soul. So now if you're praying in a way where you're just gone, where it's just your soul, the beauty of your soul flowing through you, if you're doing that, make a dua. Just make a dua and then just see how fast your dua is going to be accepted. See how fast your dua is going to start manifesting in real life. And that's so beautiful. And by the way, the way it works is that it's very easy to program the subconscious when the ego is not thinking, when the brain is not thinking. Very easy to program the subconscious. So now if you're programming the subconscious is basically the soul. Again, it's like the conscious and the subconscious, law of pairs. So again, if now you program the subconscious with beautiful feelings, like the grateful feelings, the loving feelings, the peaceful feelings, that way, and then you make the request, watch how fast your dua is going to be accepted, man. So this right here, God will manifest your desire once you sleep like this. This is the most detailed explanation that I can give. Sleep in a way where your desire has already been made. Feel the feelings as if like it's already been made. Literally, bro. And then by the way, if your mind start coming to you and being like, no, but you haven't even gotten your desired, you're basically lying to yourself. Understand, when you go to sleep in that way, you're going to be sleeping in that sense. So you'll be sleeping in the state that I'm just a liar to myself. So stop believing your brain. Your brain is going to be telling you, you're just a liar, bro. These things are not real. When in reality, these things are all real. Anybody who's done these things properly, they've all seen results. Bro, almost like 100% success rate, honestly. So when your mind is telling you, you're just lying to yourself, don't listen. Just don't listen. Just watch it and let it go. Observe the thought and let it go. And then go back. Keep redoing it. Keep redoing it. The other thing too I have to say is that sometimes it's hard to focus when you're about to fall asleep. So one tip I can give is before you go to sleep, take magnesium glycinate. If you don't know what magnesium glycinate is, man, just go search it up. But the best brand I can give you, by the way, I'm not associated with these guys at all, like not at all. So you see there's all these brands right here. If you're in Canada or whoever, the one in the US, it's not even here, but the best one is this brand, the Now brand, one of the best brands, because I'm very into supplements, right? So the Now brand is one of the best brands. Most of their products, honestly, is one of the best. And then you can do the research why it's the best, because it has enough elemental magnesium and all that stuff. Magnesium is a game changer, but this is just an extra tip for those of you that can't focus. This is not just for imagination or desires and blah blah blah, all that stuff. Magnesium glycinate, one of the best things that you can take, is gonna heal you from a bunch of things, bro. Depression, anxiety, lack of focus, lack of energy, lack of whatever. 70% of the US is lacking in magnesium, and that's why 70% of the US are all just depressed. So take magnesium. The best form is magnesium glycinate. This is a beautiful tip that, I mean, if one thing you want to get out from this video is this one. But other than that, sleep like this, and then you'll see God is going to be manifesting your desire almost like an instant, bro. Not an instant, obviously, because you'll just see the effect happening throughout the day. So if you see your thing actually happening in just one day, don't be surprised though. Don't be surprised. It's the divine law. So if this was helpful, man, just let me know.